Okay, fifth grade. So I'm in my kitchen, and as you can see behind me, I am boiling some water in my tea kettle. So to kind of give you an example, I wanted to do this so you could see what ends up happening. So to tell you a little bit about what is going on here, at the bottom we have the heat, right? And the heat is actually going to start heating up the water inside the tea kettle. And as that happens, the heat is heat energy, and it's transferring into the molecules that are in the water, and it's transferring molecules as kinetic energy. Remember we learned about that? Okay, so when the boiling point gets to 212 degrees, then what happens is the collision between all the molecules becomes so violent in the water that they start moving around and bumping around each other because they're changing, and then all of a sudden there's no space left, so then a bubble starts to form, right? And as the bubble forms, it pops. And then as it pops, like little bubbles at the bottom, then they start floating up and they pop. And as they pop, what ends up happening is steam is released into the other part of the tea kettle, okay? So then what ends up happening as the water continues to get hotter and hotter, bigger bubbles start and more steam keeps popping, because the bubbles are popping as they're coming up, and then the steam starts to get more and more within the tea kettle. So once it gets more and more in the tea kettle, then it's got no space, it's got to find space, and it ends up coming out of the little spout, and you can see the spout right there. Okay, so now if you ended up plugging that, then the steam would have nowhere to go. And what would happen with that is then the tea kettle would explode. Okay, because there'd be no room for the steam and all the molecules bouncing around. You would end up blowing up your tea kettle. Now don't go try this, obviously. Tea kettles are made a certain way so that you can heat up the water, but the steam can escape, okay? Do not go blow up a tea kettle. I'm telling you, your mom is not going to be happy. Grandma is not going to be happy. Don't do it, okay? I'm showing you this video right now so that you can see how this works. So now, with steam, it's a cloud of vapor that's actually escaping from the tea kettle. It's not really steam, but it's actually tiny little droplets that have been changed back into liquid as they go cooler into the air and they shoot up. So that's why you're able to see the steam as it is coming out, and that's why we call it steam, because you're able to see the little droplets of water and you can see the difference in the air. So this is a unique thing about steam. I'm waiting for it to heat up. It sounds like, let's turn it up just a little bit more. We'll see if we can get it to go a little bit faster here. Now, the tea kettle ends up having like this little tiny thing in the tea kettle nozzle that actually makes that little whistling sound, I think, and it helps with that. But really, it's because that steam is escaping out through this little teeny tiny hole and it's trying to push through. So that's why it makes that sound once the steam starts to come out. So I can hear it. Can you hear it? Oh, here it goes. There it goes. So it's light. Now, can you see the steam coming out? I'm going to let it go for a little bit. Can you start to see that steam coming out right there? There it goes. And now if I back up, you can see it even more, I think, or maybe a little bit closer. Anyway, so I'll turn that off because I don't want it to be too loud. But anyway, that is the power of steam. Hope you enjoyed the video.